What is going on, guys? We are back to working on the R34 Impala here. We have quite a few things to discover today, and we have Mr. Maddox here helping us out.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back.
Welcome back. So, first thing, right off the bat, probably not going to install this first, but this is, I think, the most important piece of this video, the Driveshaft. This has been a problem that we've been dealing with for quite some time. Basically, what was happening is, right around 60 miles per hour or higher, we were getting a crazy vibration coming from the rear. A lot of you guys suggested switching out the wheels in the back, or maybe it was a diff or the trans or something, but I tried different wheels. I don't think it's a diff, but I do have a spare diff just in case this doesn't work. I don't think the manual trans is the problem. But basically what happened is I got this shaft custom made, and I don't know if it was balanced correctly. These weights were pretty big. I took this to a different driveline shop. They went and balanced it and discovered that it's out of balance, not to their spec. So I had that shop make a shaft from scratch, and this is how it looks. Super clean. The weights are significantly smaller, and the real difference between these two, and this is what the shop told me, this Suburban Driveline shop versus Driveshaft Masters, is that this is DOM steel and this is chromoly. So basically DOM has a seal, or not a seal, but like a seam all the way down the center. So like it's all combined as one piece, I guess. I'm not too sure how it works, but basically chromoly is one solid rod the whole way. Not filled solid, but it doesn't have a seam in it, if that makes sense. So hopefully that'll balance out better. There's only one way to find out. We'll get that put on eventually, but we can't run the car because we don't have valve covers on it. We recently took off the valve covers to do the valve cover gaskets, and we took it to our good friend, Mr. Dan. He's been trying to dial in his chrome settings at his powder coat shop. This is his very first attempt at actually doing the chrome powder coat. It's not technically powdered chrome, but it's like, I don't know, it's part of his baking process. He's figuring it out. So they didn't turn out perfectly, and he didn't even want to give these to me, but I insisted on taking them because I want to get this car figured out, and I think they look good enough for now. You know, it's not like a show car just yet. You can always redo the valve cover gaskets in valve covers later, so not too worried about running these as is. I think they look stellar. If you look up close, there's some drips in the clear, whatever. It was his first time using the gun. I'm not upset about it by any means. Really appreciate Dan for helping me out with that. So we'll get these put on with new gaskets. And also, we had some previous coil pack issues. Stole them off of the S13 here just to verify that that was the issue. So we're going to take all of these back out, put them in the S13 for now, and then we're going to put these brand new ones on because on our road trip, we don't want to be having issues on the car. The car's got to be good, right? We're going to be visiting a lot of towns, a lot of people, a lot of meets. It's going to be a blast. Hopefully by the end of this video, we'll have a little bit to update you guys on some important dates, locations. I hope to meet a lot of you guys out there. That was a lot to say. I'm out of breath. Let's just get started and get to work. Valve covers are first. Now, I didn't clean off the heads yet, so there's still gunk on them. Guess we'll start with that. Do you think this shaft is going to fix the problem?
I don't know, man.
Or do we get shafted again?
You know what? I have a good feeling.
Right?
Think positive here.
I got nothing against
this one's got numbers, shaft. This one doesn't, but that's going to help.
Part numbers? I don't know. I'm not a drive shaft expert.
Damn, let's clean up mad easy.
Stuck in there.
They're so stuck in there.
Yeah, channel lines. So crusty. These cracked coming off. These should be rubber.
You gotta start a podcast.
I'm pretty sure these are the same, right? Yeah, they got the same numbers on them. A little smearage. Dropped it. Sweet.
I hate RTV on my fingers.
Really?
Because it gets so stuck.
Yeah, it like smears everywhere.
Yep. See? It's everywhere.
Yeah, you're wearing it now. It's kind of like, what?
Anti-seize?
Yeah, I was going to say Loctite, but yeah, NECs. A little bit on the corners here for a good seal.
TV all over my fingers.
Now let's just hope these RB25 Neo valve cover gaskets fit the RB20 Neo. Yeah, that does look sick. Now,
My 24 karat gold Skyline R34, boy.
You're probably wondering, where's the centerpiece? Unfortunately, he ran out of the chrome spray, so he had to order more. But at least we have the most important part that we need to at least get the car running and verify the vibration issue. And obviously there's no more oil leaks, so that's good. But damn, that is looking sick.
I actually really like it.
Me too.
Honestly, you might want to do a black centerpiece.
Nah, dude. If it's all matching, it's the best.
You don't think it's going to be too much?
No, never. Never enough chrome.
Make them pop more.
It's never too much chrome, baby.
Chrome will get you home.
Man.
They almost look zinc.
Yeah, right? I like it. I like it. The clear that he used had a slight gold tint to it. It's supposed to look like this. This is how it comes out of the gun originally without the clear coat, which I was hoping for actually. But I'm not upset with this gold. I like it. Now I'm curious how this blue from my S13 is going to look onto the chromes. We'll see if we want to run this one or not. I'm thinking probably not, but we're here. Let's see. God, I miss working on this thing. I don't know. Maybe if it wasn't gold it would work, but the gold and blue is kind of comical. Yeah.
I don't know.
Think about what this colorway reminded us of. What is it, St. Louis?
I don't even know. New Orleans.
New Orleans? Shows how much I know about sports.
I have no idea.
Right?
I would have thought St.
Big
Louis.
football guy here. This is all for the Saints. Now, when we put the intake manifold back together, I did go ahead and do a few deletes. If you guys remember, there was a cluster of hoses and wires in this area back here. And this is what it looked like. Bunch of spaghetti. Definitely not pleasant to look at. I did delete the evap system, and I also deleted the coolant lines that went to and from the idle air control valve. Those are right here, all capped off. I looped the coolant lines that went to and from that port so they wouldn't leak. And as for those vacuum lines, I just deleted the emission items and then left the plunger. Basically, the plunger is like right here. Basically, it's like a butterfly valve internally to the manifold. And basically, varying that valve somehow manipulates the torque that is put out. I'm not sure how the science works, but that's how they do it. Oh, and a couple other brackets were just for holding the engine cover on. Definitely helped clean it up a little bit more. Now, the very next step, before we put on the drive shaft, because I forgot, we took off the front wheels in the last Skyline build video because we wanted to coat all the seams under the wheel well. So far, all we've done is scuff all the surfaces and apply some 3M seam sealer. And basically the reason we did this is because the R34 has a common rust issue on the shock towers, and it's probably because there's no seam sealer for all of these seams that hold it together. All the road debris just gets lodged in there, stuck, moisture, rust, not a good time. So the next thing I want to do is lightly scuff that seam sealer with this red Scotch-Brite pad. I'm going to apply this epoxy primer. Now, this isn't just any old spray can. Notice that there's a red button on here. You actually take this off and push in this valve on the bottom, and this is the hardener. And this is cool to me because it makes it possible to use an effective epoxy from a can, because I don't have, you know, a whole paint system here and a big compressor to really spray this professionally. So once we coat that area with the epoxy primer, we'll wait for this to dry just a little bit, and then we'll apply some rubberized undercoating by 3M. I've seen people put this rubberized undercoating first, and I have to admit I've done this too in the past, but I was informed that that actually holds in the moisture. That promotes rust. So it's important to do the seam sealer and epoxy step first. This is supposed to be a protective layer for the first 2 layers. Just a little light scuff, nothing too crazy or in depth. Something I've learned with spray cans throughout the years is it's best to heat them up first. So I'm gonna put it a little bit in front of the heater, and just to the point where it's warm to the touch. I'm not trying to burn it or catch it on fire. Let's activate this hardener. Let's take off this red top, flip it over. When we push this tab down, you should be able to hear it release. Maybe not, because this fireball is pretty loud. There we go. You know what's fancy? When there's an adjustment knob on top. That's so cool. Min or max? Probably do it to max, right? I ended up letting the epoxy primer dry overnight. Now we can go ahead and apply the rubberized undercoating. Check out how clean this looks. It's almost like it should have been done from the factory like this. Now I did go ahead and preheat the can already, and I might actually preheat the surface I'm applying it to. Got the heat gun ready. Whew. That comes out thick. Look at that stuff. Wow. You know, funny enough, it smells like tar. I don't know about you, but that looks very protected from the elements. Way better. Alright, let's take out our rear end plug here. Held the fluid nicely. New shaft going in. Alright, just confirming this is nice and centered on the pinion to the diff before we even thread the bolts in. Nice tight fit. We're all tight, ready to test it out. Now I want to test the car exactly how it was when it was making the vibration. So I'm not going to take off the wheels, I'm not going to do the brakes. Just want to verify if this drive shaft makes any difference whatsoever. It's the only element that has changed. I like doing this method of diag because then you can really narrow down the failure point. Oh, I hate doing this. Hate running the wheels in the air. First, second, third. That's a weird sound. No vibration though. No vibration. We did it. We did it. So it really was the drive shaft that was out of balance the whole time. Interesting. I didn't think that'd be an issue. What a relief. You know what that means? Now I can really start looking into getting coilovers and wheels put on the car. My favorite part. I'm sure all of you guys are ready to see this thing slammed. Not like, you know, crazy slam like the other cars, but, you know, not looking like this. This is unacceptable in every country. I love these valve covers. Really want to get this centerpiece done. How satisfying. Since we verified this drive shaft is good, I'm going to put a sticker on it. This is going to be a little preview for you guys. New design in the works. I made this chrome sticker that's going to be probably available in person only. Put it on, so crooked. It's all wrinkled. Whatever. You know, I also forgot about this little brace. Since we don't need to take off the drive shaft again, we can put this back on for good. How about that? So cold these last few days, but I'm glad we were able to make some progress. Check out this cool icicle on the exhaust. Oh, e-brake's not up. Now the idle has been pretty inconsistent, so I might actually end up putting those coolant lines back on because it keeps going up to 2,000, bogs back down to 1,200-ish, so whatever, we'll get to that eventually. Let's go on a road test and just really verify this vibration is gone. Luckily the roads are dry. Yes, they're still full of salt. The dry salt is way less of a threat than when it's all wet. When it's wet, I feel like it seeps into all the crevices a lot better, you know? Ah, it feels good to drive this car again. It's been a couple of weeks. No vibration, baby. Going faster than when it used to vibrate. It's nice and smooth. This is with the same dry rotted tires. So 100% guarantee the drive shaft was the issue. What an interesting find. All right, brethrens, I have some updates for you guys regarding the Triangle Triumph trip, or the Triangle trip, as we're calling it. So obviously we're gonna leave from Chicago, and our first stop is gonna be in Cookeville, Tennessee. I'm gonna read off of the flyers I just made, but I'll post those in the video so you guys can follow along. We're gonna be hosting a meet in Cookeville on February 8th from 5 to 10 p.m. By the way, I'm gonna drop the addresses about a week or two before the actual event. From Cookeville, we're gonna drive down to Marietta, Georgia. I haven't been able to secure a lot here, so I'm not sure if that's really gonna work out. Then from Georgia, we're gonna drive all the way down to Florida and actually host an event in Orlando. This Orlando meet is a little bit different than the rest because we're gonna have two separate locations. We're all gonna meet at the first location at 5 p.m. and then all cruise to the second location at around 8 p.m. Sorry, I'm reading off my list here. It's hard to keep track of all this stuff. I figured this could be cool because there's nothing more rewarding than driving with your homies or other modded cars to a different location together. It's so cool when the entire streets are just filled with cool cars. All right, so then from that Orlando meet, the next day we're gonna host one in Clearwater, which is right outside of Tampa. This one is also a special event because we're gonna be having Street Break, which is one of the biggest RC places in America, to my knowledge. They're gonna be setting up a 1/10 scale RC track at this car meet. So that's gonna be pretty cool. After leaving the Tampa and Clearwater area, we're gonna start heading north and we're gonna stop in Jacksonville on the way back. Host a little meet right there. From there, we're gonna drive all the way up to North Carolina. That's a long drive. And we're gonna have a meet in Mooresville. That is gonna be on February 22nd. What's different about this event is it's a morning event. This is gonna start at 8 a.m. and hopefully it can go till around noon. Then we're gonna head up towards Connecticut area, and I have not figured out any information about a meet up here. So I'll have to get back to you guys on that. But that's what we got going so far. I'm curious, how many of you guys am I gonna meet along this trip? I'm really looking forward to it. All right, it's Tim's birthday. Let's go catch up with him. Was there a picture on it? Oh, I need to see the picture. Wait, what? Is that you on a cake?
It is, dude. Look at my RC car. Also, do you recognize that video?
Shake John? Damn, 27?
Too old.
Happy B-Day.
Hey, where'd the...
Oh, yeah. The plate's right there.
Oh, yeah.
Man, we're at the skate park over here. Skater boys. Camera reception? Huh? No pressure, Nico.
Okay.
I miss the days we would waste in the sun. That's hard.
Shout out my favorite brand, Get Some Sleep. Rest in peace, after 7 years they closed down. I'm very sad about it.
Really?
But I swear, I love their brand, I love their stuff. This jacket is kick-ass.
Whoa, what's the front say?
Just Get Some Sleep.
That's
Same brand.
so cool.
I love the jacket, I love the brand.
Oh
10
yeah.
out of 10, no notes.
Check out my front tires.
Front tires. Damn, bro. Those Toyos?
Shibata. Japan only.
Only?
Yeah, and they're spec tire. They're the same like hardness we use here anyway, but it's just treaded. It's what everyone in Japan uses already. Like we're behind this wave.
That's cool that you guys are the ones bringing it over.
Dude, honestly, we've been bringing over quite a few. Whenever we can order them, we'll order bulk and get everyone a bunch of sets. So
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Damn, that's crazy.
isn't it? It's like a whole new aspect of realness.
Damn, Nico getting the S-fitting. Oh, you got your other chassis out there too.
Yeah, there's so many,
So cool.
so many things out there.
We got Mr. Alfred over here converting my OG chassis. He's taking off the traditional bell crank and converting it to a slide rack. Do you find any benefits with this conversion, Alfred?
It's more along the lines of like driver preference. Me, I will drive with any of the three.
So I've
Which
had.
would be like slide rack, bell crank, or direct drive.
I see. So I've had both, obviously, because I have this OG chassis and then I have a second chassis that has a slide rack. The bell crank, I get some binding issues. When it hits full lock, sometimes it doesn't want to come back. And you can see like the control arms get really close to each other and they end up touching, and that's what causes the binding. But I think, oh, here we go. This is a slide rack example right here. So basically it rides on 3 bearings. I know this is like the worst video ever to really describe this, because you can't really see it. But all you need to know is that the slide rack is better. There's no binding in this. Nice and smooth at any height too. That's a big thing. Because the bell crank, if there's no, if the chassis is off the ground, it won't even want to turn. Going back together over here, boss?
Yes. Kind of a weird find.
Yeah, what happened to yours?
So the pin that goes like on the wheel here, well, like that, on the rotor.
Okay.
Same thing on the gear, but there is no pin that came out.
Oh.
So somehow I was driving.
Damn.
Somehow I was Somehow I was driving all this time with no pin.
That's crazy.
So the set screw, that little guy, was the only thing holding the gear onto the shaft.
Oh, I see it in there. But there's supposed to be a pin, you were saying.
Yeah,
That's crazy, it held.
The pin goes in between the shaft, and then that goes, it fits in their stub.
Damn.
Somehow that was never there.
That's crazy. Well, at least that was a simple fix. You didn't blow anything up.
I agree.
That's sick.